Here at St. Andrew's Orthodox Ukrainian Church, the church recently held a vigil to honor the lives lost in Ukraine during the Russia-Ukrainian war. As this is a tough time for many Ukrainian churchgoers, they ask for you to stand with them during this tough time. Here I am standing at Amicalola Falls, where recently a Georgia resident hiked from here all the way up to Maine. As the war continues, the Ukrainian community here at St. Andrew's Orthodox Ukrainian Church remain hopeful and thankful for all of the support and donations that they have received. To learn more about Natalia's organization, you can visit www.ukrainianatlanta.org, and from there you can find resources to help donate to Ukraine. This has been Jeremy Jones with GSU TV. The population in the metropolitan Atlanta area has been increasing quite rapidly over the past decade. And with this increased population, we now see an increased demand in homes. So what does this mean for people who are currently looking to purchase a house in the area right now? Let's find out. During difficult times such as these, children are not always afforded the luxury of coming home to a nice plate of food. However, this is an issue that one local Gwinnett County lunch lady is taking the first steps to help solve. The housing market has still been treating Jacinto and his business pretty fairly, as he still continues to sell houses in Gwinnett, DeKalb, Forsyth, Cobb, and many other of the metro Atlanta areas. Now hiring. Now hiring. Now hiring. We see many businesses with now hiring signs, urgently looking for workers. So why are many businesses posting now hiring signs? Well, this phenomenon is called the Great Resignation, which is the trend of workers voluntarily leaving the workplace. The food pantry here at Baga Elementary School is open between the hours 9:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. To make a pickup, to make a donation, or to even ask questions about the pantry, you can call 678-518-6679 or email Nelligan directly at cynthia.nelligan@gcpsk12.org. And with Nelligan's heart and motivation, she is assuring that no one goes hungry during this holiday season. While students continue to decide whether or not attending school is worth it, Talisa and Caleb want to advise everyone to ultimately do what is best for yourself. This has been Jeremy Jones with PRN. Nicholas says that this experience has boosted his confidence and improved his mental health. He does recommend the hike to everybody, however, make sure that you are physically and mentally able to do so. However, I am not. Jaleesa is not the only one who feels this way about the workforce. With tweets such as these, many Americans around the nation are feeling relieved or at ease after quitting or leaving their jobs. Here I am at the Georgia State Capitol building, where recently a building near had to be evacuated due to a threatening letter. The brown building back there, which is the James Floyd building, had to be evacuated by Georgia State Patrol, according to Georgia Senate Republicans. Details about the letter have not been disclosed yet, but we will find out more information soon. And with Jacinto saying that he doesn't see the market going down anytime soon, and with Tiana having difficulty finding housing in her original city of choosing, chances are is that if you're looking to buy a house in the metro Atlanta area, you might be looking for a while. It took Georgia resident Nicola Vrand 5 months to hike 2,200 miles.
I knew that I wanted to travel after I graduated from college, and one of my friends, Matt and Charlie, they suggested I go and hike the Appalachian Trail.
A good friend of his, Luke Rigby, commended him for hiking the entire trail.
So it was definitely very impressive. I could not imagine trying to do that, hiking every day for, I think it was 4 or 5 months straight.
Nicola managed to maintain a pretty positive attitude throughout the hike while also capturing some beautiful pictures. However, he did have some rougher days.
I'd say my worst spot I was in was when I was in Pennsylvania. The trail was I did not like the trail there. It was very rocky, hurt my feet, and I kept tripping over rocks. And
despite unpleasant meals and body sores, Nicola was still able to persevere and push himself through.
Pretty much what the hikers say is you gotta embrace the suck. On the bad days, you just kind of gotta realize there'll be good days coming.
After completing the hike, Nicola says that this experience has boosted his confidence and improved his mental health. He recommends the hike to everybody and says anybody can do it, but make sure that you are mentally and physically able to do so. Jeremy Jones. Churchgoers gather at St. Andrew's Orthodox Ukrainian Church in Cumming, Georgia, to hold a vigil to honor the lives lost in Ukraine under the current Russia-Ukrainian war.
Furthermore, we pray for the repose of the servants of God who have perished in this war, departed this life, and that they may be forgiven all their sins.
What we do, we promote Ukrainian culture and traditions among Ukrainian immigrants and Americans with Ukrainian heritage.
Some people gave speeches expressing their support.
God will make sure that there is justice for what is happening.
To continue to work for truth and justice. Families have been ripped apart.
Father of the church, Bogdan Mazurek, says that this war has taken an emotional toll on him.
It's a most horrible thing that I've ever experienced in my life, and that I have to deal with.
And after the vigil, many people gave donations. As the war continues, the Ukrainian community here at St. Andrew's Orthodox Ukrainian Church remain hopeful and thankful for all of the support and donations that they have received. To learn more about Natalia's organization, you can visit www.ukrainianatlanta.org, and from there you can find resources to help donate to Ukraine. This has been Jeremy Jones with GSU TV. Now hiring. Now hiring. Now hiring. We see many businesses with now hiring signs urgently looking for workers. So why are many businesses posting now hiring signs? Well, this phenomenon is called the Great Resignation, which is the trend of workers voluntarily leaving the workplace. So now we have to ask ourselves, why are workers leaving the workplace? 21-year-old Jaleesa Murray stepped out of the workplace, quitting her job at Family Dollar in Lawrenceville, Georgia, to focus on her copywriting and spiritual advising businesses. She explains what made her leave her job altogether.
It was a lot of stress and tension to where there were some days where that Family Dollar wasn't even open the whole day. And we would have nobody on shift going from 5:30 to closing. So I was at school from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I would literally have to leave school to open the store. And that was, obviously conflicting within my schedule.
With working conditions and conflicting scheduling being the main reason why Jaleesa and many other Americans are quitting their jobs, Jaleesa is unsure if she's willing to step back into the workplace again.
If anything, I want to make my own opportunities for myself. I want to make a name for myself. So if it's going to be me stepping into the workforce, it's on my own accord.
Jaleesa is not the only one who feels this way about the workforce. With tweets such as these, many Americans around the nation are feeling relieved or at ease after quitting or leaving their jobs.
I felt relieved. It was a lot of stress.
Since quitting her job and feeling relieved, Jaleesa continues to work on her brand as a spiritual advisor and copywriter, and she continues to watch her business grow. Now, as far as people who are currently still in the workforce, how are they feeling about this trend? Currently working, Peyton Carlton and James McEver both work in the food service industry, with Peyton at Dunkin' Donuts and James at Little Ray, a Tex-Mex restaurant in Atlanta. And 22-year-old Peyton has been working at Dunkin' Donuts in Athens, Georgia for about 2 weeks now, and he says that he likes working there.
So far, I really like it. It's a whole different ball game than anything like my last job. It's very high pace. You got to keep up.
It seems that Peyton enjoys working at Dunkin' Donuts, and James, respectively, shares a similar opinion with Peyton about working his job.
Easy job, fairly laid back and calm, and not difficult to handle, other than just a lot of people. It's always busy.
And James is an upcoming manager, and with that, he explains what he's seen and what his other managers have seen in regard to low staffing and high turnover rates, and how this trend has overall affected the operation of the restaurant.
A month and a half time period where a bunch of people left and people just quit, and then nobody was getting hired because nobody was applying. It was only 9 of us who were working front of house 40 plus hours a week. Tiring, draining. All of us were we're about to quit.
James and Peyton are seemingly satisfied at their current places of employment. However, I did ask them how they felt about this trend, and this is what they had to say.
Seen some stuff on TikTok and social media where a lot of people are just screw it, go quit your job, focus on your mental health. And I respect that 100%. And I did that at one point because I quit my job a little bit earlier before I moved to just kind of relax. But I don't think that should last longer than a month or two.
I do on some, in like some situations, some people that I know, I do completely understand it, because there are some places that are like severely short-staffed and they're not being treated right or like treated well at all. If you're being disrespected and you're being overworked, you don't have to put up with that. And I think a lot of people have realized that, especially through like quarantine and throughout COVID.
Even though Peyton and James are both employed, they can still sympathize with people like Jaleesa, who leave their jobs due to a sense of being undervalued and overworked. And that feeling of being undervalued and overworked can resonate with millions of Americans who are both employed and unemployed. During difficult times such as these, children are not always afforded the luxury of coming home to a nice plate of food. However, this is an issue that one local Gwinnett County lunch lady is taking the first steps to help solve. Cynthia Nelligan, Baggett Elementary School's lunchroom manager, has put together a food pantry that carries not only different foods ranging from macaroni to other canned goods, but also carries toiletries, backpacks, school supplies, and shoes. She explains what motivated her to put the whole pantry together.
What gave me the idea was students kept coming to me telling me that they were hungry and they needed more food. So once we did our Great Days of Service, I was like, why are we giving this to the co-op? Why don't we keep it in our school?
Nelligan not only carries food for those in need, but in another room she put together a closet filled with clothes and coats that some come from the lost and found and some that get donated. Nelligan says that students and those in need can come in and grab as much as they can carry.
I usually try to give them like 4 bags and they fill it up, because that way they can put 2 in their backpack and then they carry 2 with them home.
Everything in the pantry is donated by churches, students, and other organizations, and Nelligan takes time each and every day to unpack the new items she receives and make sure that the pantry stays organized and clean.
We've had companies donate stuff. My son's company actually was one of the ones that did. They donated. We have several churches that donate. And then when we do the Great Days of Service, which is a canned food drive.
She also says that anybody, anywhere can come and pick up items from the pantry.
We do a flyer. We try to do like maybe 4 flyers a year to send home with the students. And it's also posted on our website. So if you get a flyer, you can tell your friend, and then your friends can come here too. We don't turn anybody down.
The pantry has been open since May 2021, and since its opening, guidance counselors Yasira Powers-Colossi and Alexandra Schlechte tell us about how parents, students, and the community have reacted to the pantry.
When we kind of send out flyers or send out information, we'll usually get more families coming in on those weeks, and then they come and they'll, ask for whatever they need, and we're happy to help.
Have some students and families who are basically like in shock when we bring them there, and they're like, we're so thankful, we've never had this before. Sometimes I've brought families who are unhoused or in really difficult financial situations, and they'll be able to walk through, pick out household supplies that they need, pick out food that they need, clothing for their kids, and it's just really meant a lot to them, and it's really powerful to see. I know definitely some who have been brought close to tears or like very emotional from all the support and help that they've been given.
Putting together this pantry takes hard work and determination, and Nelligan says that it's the children that keeps her motivated.
Just because I can see their smiles.
The food pantry here at Baggett Elementary School is open between the hours 9:30 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. To make a pickup, to make a donation, or to even ask questions about the pantry, you can call 678-518-6679 or email Nelligan directly at cynthia.nelligan@gcpsk12.org. And with Nelligan's heart and motivation, she is assuring that no one goes hungry during this holiday season. Thank you.